Hello, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well. Happy Thanksgiving, even though you will see this after Thanksgiving. Um, but hope you all are having a good holiday season. If you're not having such a great holiday season, I understand. A lot of things could be going wrong. You're not close to your family. Maybe your family's passed away. Maybe you're adopted. Maybe you're in foster care, or you were in foster care, and now you're in the adult, and so you don't have a close relationship with really any family. There could be a lot of reasons why this holiday season could be rough for you. And I hope that, it's some way you can find some kind of family that you can make yourself, or you can find some supportive people, something like that, so that you don't feel too alone this holiday season. Because now Thanksgiving's coming up. When you'll see this, it'll already be done. Um, and then there's Christmas coming right up. It'll be here before we know it, which is crazy. Um, so yeah, everything's happening. It's getting crazy out here. But yeah, so I talked about this in my short video this week. One of my short videos this week. I'm going to be talking about the movie franchise Thankskilling, which is about an ancient magical serial killing turkey. Which, yeah, it's pretty crazy. Got my Stay Golden shirt on. I love the girls. This is so random. A Hallmark is playing Christmas movies, so I cannot watch them until like January. So I'm a little sad about that. Although I could just watch them on I think they're on Hulu or HBO Max. They're on some streaming site that I actually have, so I could just watch them there. But anyway, let's get into Thankskilling. So the first one is an independent black comedy slasher. It's a homicidal turkey. The synopsis is a homicidal turkey axes off college kids during Thanksgiving break. And when they say kids, it is very loose because these people look at least 35. Not saying you're old when you're 35, but they don't look like, and I know you can go to college at any age, but I'm pretty sure they're trying to say that they're like within the first 4 years of college, and they don't look like it. All right. Um, you know, one of the characters is like a football player, so he's trying to impress his dad. So that's definitely not a you leave and come back to school kind of feel, like way you go to school. It was released December 8th, 2007, directed by John Downey. The cast is Natasha Cordova as Allie, excuse me. Linda Anderson as Kristen Rude. Lance Primore as Johnny. Aaron Carlson as Billy Langston. Ryan Francis as Darren. General Bastard as Oscar. I did not realize that was his name. I'm like, what name is that? Chuck Lamb as Sheriff Rude. John Downey, the director, as Turkey's voice. Who Turkey has an IE at the end. That's his name. Turkey. Where can you stream it at? You can stream it for free on Sling TV. Tubi is where I watch them. Pluto TV and Vudu. You can have a subscription for Philo. I never heard of that, but you can watch it there. You can rent or buy it on Amazon Prime, Google Movies, Google Play Movies and TV, Apple TV, and YouTube. I would just suggest going to any of the free ones. It's not. I don't think it's worth spending your money on. Sorry, y'all. I am a little under the weather, like always. So now I'm going to share my pros and my cons, and actually put my overall opinion together for both movies, like I did last week. So we're going to do the same thing this week. My pros. So the first pro is it's self-aware. It knows that its premise is crazy. It knows that it's not really taking itself seriously, and I really like that about this movie. And it made it so funny because it's like they're trying to play it semi-straight. They have these jokes that are just, very, I guess maybe fourth wall breaking. I'm not sure if that's the right way to say it, but they think they kill Turkey. I'm gonna spoil some stuff. But he falls into a radioactive trash can or waste bin or something, and then one of the college kids, main characters, is like, "Oh, we hope he's dead," and they're like, "Yeah, because this is creepy woods guy who shoots him because Turkey kills his dog basically." So the woods guy is trying to, I forgot what they actually call him. The woods guy wants revenge, of course. And of course, when he shoots him, he lands in a radioactive trash can. So he's not dead yet. Which, for all horror movies, double check, double tap, make sure that's rule number one. Even though there's like some horror movie characters who just don't die, like Michael Myers, and then Freddy Krueger, I don't think he, I don't think he can die. I haven't watched all the movies for him. I have watched the first Halloween, but that was like it. Um, like the original first one from like the 70s. Uh, but it's always good to double check, triple check actually. So it's very self-aware. It knows that it's like kind of ridiculous, and it just makes it so funny that way. And then my second pro is that it's over the top and underwhelming. So it's like you have this turkey running around. He's magical. Remember that. Ancient turkey set on revenge against other turkeys. He's running around killing people. So that's like over the top, ridiculous. But it's also underwhelming because, like, it's not good acting. It's not. It's not going. It definitely would never win any Oscars. It's very low budget. Uh, you know, certain things are not like the greatest, but that makes it like that. I feel like that makes it funny because, like, this turkey is like vulgar. He's cursing. There are boobs in the first like 3 seconds when you watch, which there's a warning for that. Warning for that actually. Be careful where you watch this because yeah, in both of the movies, in the first like 10 seconds, this is focused on a nipple. So there's that. Um, it's just like, this is magical turkey running around. Like, who comes up with this? Like, it's just so bizarre. But it's also like, action's not great. They're basically at like, I guess, houses. It's not like extravagant, so it's like underwhelming, but it's really funny. And speaking of that, my third pro is that it's so bad it's funny. Like some things are not supposed to be funny, but it's just like it's just so ridiculous. You're telling me these 45-year-olds are college students, and then one of the girls like mentions how one of the other girls is like a slut basically. She's like, oh, she's harder to close than John Benet Ramsey case, and she says it like 3 times in the movie, and they laugh each time. Like, why do you have to keep saying that? Like, it's just so bad that it just makes it funny, and it's just ridiculous. Okay, let me tell you one thing. Another spoiler. Turkey kills Allie's dad. Right? Turkey's wearing the dad's face. Mind you, Turkey's like, how big are turkeys? Like 4 feet tall. So she has to lean down to hug her dad, but she doesn't realize it's not her dad. It's just so funny. Like they really were like, oh yeah, this would totally fool her. It's just so funny. So yeah, those are the good things I liked about this movie. Let's get into the cons. Since it's made in 2007, they do have some outdated slurs. They call each other the F slur, which rhymes with maggots. You know what I'm saying? The R slur when you're not developmentally up there. Y'all know what I'm saying. They're just like, yeah, I mean, it's 2007. I mean, it's like pretty low budget, and I think it's supposed to be shocking, so it's not going to be the most politically correct. They do have a sexual assault scene, which I'm sure you can guess what it is, because one of the ladies is a slut. Turkey's gross. Yeah, it was weird to me. I was like, ugh. They did not have anything like that in the second movie. Even though I know it's like ridiculous that it's not really possible, it still was weird to me. It's very gory. At first, I wasn't gonna watch the second one, but I was like, I have to see what they're gonna do next. But I'm not really like a gore person. I don't like, which is ironic because I like all of the Child's Play / Chucky movies, but I'm not a gore person otherwise. And I feel like maybe because, and then I guess it's also like, it's a turkey, it's a doll. It's not like it would really happen, you know. But I don't know, with the doll, I'm like, maybe I feel like I could take Chucky. if it doesn't catch you, of course. I feel like I could. Um, so maybe that's the difference. But yeah, like an ancient magical turkey, I don't know. I don't know if you can really do anything about that. Especially if you don't know how to kill it. You don't know, you're not equipped. Like if I see a turkey coming to kill me, I don't know what I would do. Like it's ridiculous. Um, but yeah, it was pretty gory, so that wasn't my favorite thing. But let's get into Thankskilling 3, which they had a tagline where they're like, "This is the only movie that ever skipped its own sequel," um, which is interesting. So it's a comedy, horror, sci-fi movie. The synopsis is: foul-mouthed villain Turkie carves through the likes of a rapping grandma, a mindless puppet, a wig-wearing inventor, a bisexual space worm, and their equally ridiculous friends on his quest to recover the last copy of Thankskilling 2, which I felt like is so funny. So basically, Turkie is an actor in this universe and it made Thankskilling 2 like they're saying it's the worst movie ever. And Turkie basically wants to use the movie to take over people's minds, I think, and kill the humans because they keep killing the turkeys. That's what I can remember from that. It's released. So they have two release dates. So I'm gonna put both November 1st or November 13th in 2012 by the same director. So we have Daniel Uzja. I don't know if I said that right. As Uncle Donnie, John Holzer as Jefferson, Preston Autry as Nibla, Benjamin Simon as Mrs. Turkie, Mike Lindenberg as Greg Garbage, Bridge Stewart as Franken Turkie, Wanda Lust. Oh, she was also in the first one. I guess they didn't credit her. Okay, she was in the first one. She was like a naked pilgrim, a half naked pilgrim anyway. Um, and she was a naked astronaut in this one. Because it does take place in space a little bit. The director, Jordan Downey, played Turkie, I guess the voices, Turkie, Yomi, Muff, and the Wise Turkie. Kevin Stewart was Rhonda Worm, the voice for that. Pluckmaster, the voice for, it's like a turkey stuffing machine, is Pluckmaster. And Meow Mir, who's like a cartoon cat. Uh, David Cronin as Pilot, which is a pie. That's a pilot. And they have, I don't even remember this person. Jeffrey A. Baker as Flamethrower 1. Ryan McLean Leland as Ramjob Rick. I don't even remember this person. Mark M. as Flowers, who's like, her name is Lois, but she's like a rapper, so she's Flowers. Well, she's like a puppet. I don't know how to describe it. It's like, you know, those meaty cartoon characters, but they were like hand puppets. But she's like that, but she's like plastic instead, I think. Christina Belvin as newscaster, and Troy Smith as he's Franken Turkie, but he wants to be called Blart. I don't know why. So where can you stream it? You can stream it for free on Sling TV, Tubi. I watch both on Tubi, Plex, which I never heard of either, and Video. And subscription is Philo again, and rent or buy at Amazon Prime, Google Play Movies and TV, Apple TV, and YouTube. So my pros are, it was a little heartwarming. It was. Nomi, she's like this hand puppet character, and she kind of like a Muppet basically. She's yellow with like purple hair. She's the whole movie. She's looking for her mind, and her and Uncle Donnie, who's like this salesman who made the Pluckmaster 3000, and he wants to make a Thanksgiving land, so he wants to be like a pilgrim Thanksgiving land. And then Jefferson is his best friend. I'm guessing they're like best friends. Who wants to be the head of security, and they're like really into the pilgrim stuff. You know what I mean? They dress up like it. They want to have Thanksgiving land like as a theme park. Yeah, so it's a lot. So yeah, that's what's going on with that. And him and Nomi become close, and then she has to go and leave him to find her mind. Which surprisingly is heartwarming, because I didn't want her to leave. I want them to stay together. And sad. It was kind of weird. This movie's so weird. But that was one of the things I really liked about it. Um, so let's get in the cons. So that's really my only like pro. Um, it's over the top but underwhelming with the bigger budget. So I said this in my short video about this. They had 3,500 to make the original, and they had 100,000, like 112 something thousand to make this one. And I don't think it made it better. I felt like they were doing like more, like you go to space. You got um, better sets. You could do more, but it. It was it wasn't that great to me. Like it wouldn't make it. It was still ridiculous. I mean, it's still a serial killing ancient magical turkey, and then it's a rapping plastic Muppet grandma and a Muppet looking for her mind um, that somehow floated outside of her head, and then they have talking trash, a talking cartoon cat. I mean, it's like all this is pretty ridiculous, but um, it still wasn't like funnier to me. Oh, which is my next point. It's bizarre, but not really funny at all. Like I had a few chuckles, but and it could also be that the jokes aren't that funny, or they could be like because 2012, the humor is different. Even though people still try to do this like raunchy humor, and it's like, where does that get you? Like you just, and I feel like people are tired of it at this point now because it's like people are just trying to be offensive to be funny, and it's like it's not 2012 anymore, 2007. Like it doesn't work anymore because we know you're not really funny. You're just trying to be offensive, and so it's kind of like that. Oh, and the story's all over the place. Which I mean, it's about a serial killing magic turkey who's looking for a DVD of a movie that never really came out. Um, so it's gonna be all over the place. So they had the Thanksgiving land story with Jefferson. They had the rapping grandma. They had uh, Yomi with her finding her mind. They had Uncle Donnie with his pluck master. Then they had this base worm and this robot named Muff coming to stop the turkey. There's a lot going on, and it was like a lot going on, but none of it really stuck for me. None of it was really like, besides the Yomi and Uncle Donnie, he had to protect her and stuff. The wise turkey told him to protect her. So, I mean, that was heartwarming. But other than that, I didn't really care. I was like, okay, this is all weird, but it's like I don't really care. And they had to stop Turkey and destroy him, of course. Every movie they got to destroy him, right? Um, but I don't know. I didn't really care about it. I didn't really care about anything. I mean, Yomi, I wanted her to like stay with Uncle Donnie, and then when Uncle Donnie did his Thanksgiving land, which I guess that's a spoiler, at the end of the movie, I was happy. I was like, oh, he's finally doing it. But for the worm and like Muff and like, yeah, it was like they were just there to make like worm puns and like butt jokes, and it was like, okay, I'm not gonna spoil one thing because it's, I guess it's like, of course they're all over the place, but it's kind of like a point that they have like a portal, but where it is like just weird. It's like I'm just gonna say it. Um, it's in Muff's butt, and like I don't know, I don't really find stuff like that funny. Maybe if I was younger, maybe, but like I'm in my 30s. That's not funny to me anymore. Like I don't know. I also never really been like a potty humor person, even though I do love Christmas Vacation and I do make an exception for that movie. But outside of that, I'm not into it. And it had a tiny bit of self awareness, not as much as the first movie. And I wouldn't say they were playing it like 100% seriously, but it wasn't a lot of self awareness as the first one. I feel like that could have made it more funny, but they only had like a tiny bit of that. So my overall opinion for the first movie is that I love how self aware it was and it didn't take itself too seriously. I like that even though the characters are like skeptical about the ancient serial killing avenging Turkey. Um, oh, I love that even the characters are skeptical. Like This is an ancient serial killing avenging Turkie. Like, what is that? That doesn't make any sense. Like, I love that. All of a sudden, things are over the top, but we're still limit budget. It's still bad, lol. So it's like, yeah, like I said, it's still so bad, it's funny. Um, for the sequel, I think they wanted to do too much and still use the outdated humor from like the early 2000s, which doesn't work for this movie. And it also could be not my type of humor, so maybe somebody else will find it like hilarious. I don't know. It was more money but less entertaining. Um, it was basically boring in my opinion, honestly. Even though Uncle Donnie and Yummy there, were they had some heartwarming parts. It didn't save the movie overall. The first movie I gave it like a 6 out of 10. Um, Telling me it's bad, but at least hey, they're pretty self-aware. And for the second movie, I'm gonna give it a 1 out of 10. I think the lower budget actually made the first one more enjoyable versus just being over the top just to do it. And of course, there were things I didn't like about the first movie, but you know, I wouldn't say it was like horrible. It wasn't the worst movie I've ever seen. It's one of. The first one definitely one of. And the second one definitely one of the worst movies I've ever seen. But I wouldn't be like, oh my gosh, I can't watch this. Like, the second one, I would not be able to watch. The first one, I'd be like, okay. I mean, it's not really serious. You know? So that's my thoughts about Thanksgiving movies. Um, I'm going to go on a rant a little bit about horror holiday movies. You would think since horror movies are my favorite genre that I would enjoy horror holiday movies, but I actually don't like them. Um, and I get the genres will overlap, but in my opinion, I don't think we need to turn everything into a horror version. Recently, a new Thanksgiving horror movie just came out. It's called Thanksgiving. It's like out in theaters now. And sometimes I think it's okay to have holiday movies like be holiday movies and horror movies just be horror movies. Like that's fine. Um, It reminds me recently of Winnie the Pooh just went back into the public domain, so now there's a horror version of Winnie the Pooh, which is like, why? Do you need a horror version of Winnie the Pooh? Um, LOL. I think just because you can do it does not mean you should. I feel like that's for a lot of things. Like when I watch those videos of them putting random stuff together and be like, this looks so good. You don't need to do it. But I feel like those are just rage engagement posts. That's what I think. But back on topic. Um, Not all that these movies can't be good, but I think they're better apart. Not to sound like someone who wanted segregation back in the day, lol. But yeah, I don't think we need to have like everything overlapping. Do I wanna? I don't know. I feel like when I'm in a Christmas mood, I don't want to watch the movie Black Christmas where the sorority girls getting murdered. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's just me. If I want a horror movie, I want a horror movie. If I want a holiday movie, I want a holiday movie. Like I feel like holiday movies are supposed to be like feel good movies and get you in the spirit for the season. I don't really want to deal with a serial killing Santa Claus or something. Um, and I've seen Krampus. It's not bad. Oh, let me talk about Krampus for 1 second. My friend loves that movie. I'm not saying it's a bad movie, but why is a child being punished for saying that they don't like their family or whatever? If you're a child, do you really like your family? I don't think you do. Why you gotta get punished for it? That's kind of messed up. I feel like there are a lot of things that are kind of messed up about Christmas, like that Santa watches you and you gotta be good. Like, why can't you just be good all year? And why do you gotta have this threat of like not getting presents because some random fat white man is staring at you? Even though in my house, you know, we would have a black Santa. But yeah, I feel like the concept of Santa is kind of creepy. Breaks into your house, gives you things. You know what I mean? So I guess that kind of makes sense why they. Now I'm thinking about it. Why you have holiday horror movies? Because I mean, yeah, it is kind of a creepy concept. And also Thanksgiving. I guess I can see it. Do I think we still need to have it as a genre? No. But I get it. Revenge turkey, you eating turkey on Thanksgiving and Christmas. I get it. But I still don't think we need to do it. But yeah, if you like holiday horror movies, what do you think about them? Do you have a favorite? I think I've seen at least two versions of Black Christmas because one came out in the 70s and I want to say one came out in the early 2000s, but I think there's three. And then, they have this Thanksgiving movie that just came out. Have you seen it? Have you seen any other Thanksgiving horror movies? Any other Christmas horror movies? I have heard the movie Better Watch Out is good, but I haven't seen it. But yeah, let me know your thoughts if you want. Happy Thanksgiving once again. I will see you all next week where I will start talking about Christmas movies. Because at first I was going to do it this week, but I was like, let me throw in another Thanksgiving one. So yeah, see you all next week.